Hi, Alan. This is April. I am giving you some feedback for your newsletter part one, just because I think it'll be easier to give this through the video rather than typing it all out. So hopefully you can take this information that I give to you, work on the necessary changes going forward as you are building your next 2 pages for your article 2. All right, so the first thing that I noticed when I opened your file is some of your images were not included. So make sure when you package your file that your 3 of these, and I go into links. I went up to window links, and in here is where you can see all of the images that are supposed to be in your file. And you can see this little yellow explanation point little icon, and it's telling me, and it popped up when I opened up your file as well and said we have some missing links here. So when you package your file, make sure that you're also checking your images to link. And that's an option when you go to File Save As. Oh, I'm sorry, hold on. File Package. And you go to Package. Just make sure that everything is checked here. And what I'm thinking is you probably didn't have your graphics checked. So just make sure you're doing that. And that's why that's there. So just FYI. As far as your linked text boxes from page 1 and 2, you did great. I think that looks good. I do not see your page numbers in there. So you'll want to go back and put your page numbers based on your parent pages. If you have any questions about that, definitely review the lecture demo that I did in last week to put those in correctly. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in here and let's take a look at your style sheets. And make sure you did this correctly. Paragraph styles. These are important to get right the first time. Well, to get right initially. If not, I can show you how to change your styles so that you are doing them correctly as you move forward. Okay, so it looks like you set your body copy style sheet, and then it looks like you set the same thing up here to the same paragraph style, but there's a little plus sign, which tells me something has been changed, but this style sheet is not similar to this style sheet. So what I would suggest is go ahead and make this a new style sheet so that we're not having that little plus sign. Just hit the little plus sign in paragraph styles, double click on it, and we're going to name this intro copy. And then that way, you don't have any issues going forward. If you make changes to this, it's not going to make changes to that, for instance. Just take care of any type of widows. I see one here. So in this instance, what I would probably do is let's see, I would probably take it down 1 point. So maybe to 12. We'll do 12 by 14 leading. That's easy to do through your style sheets, and then just pull this up so that you don't have any issues with widows. It looks like it's, a little easier to read. All right. Now, do we have a style sheet for your headline? No. Okay. So we're going to do a character style for the headline, because character styles are for, headlines and subheads, where paragraph styles are for body copy, large amounts of text. All right. So we're going to do a new character style, and we're going to name this headline. And we're just going to keep everything the same. Okay, we're just setting it as the headline. And then we want to make sure our subheads are also done correctly. So that looks good. This one, let's go ahead and it looks like this one's not being used. So we're just going to double click on that. We're going to name this subhead. And then we just want to make sure the font family is correct. So I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to see what this font is. Go to my character panel. Harlow Solid Italic. Okay, so I'm going to double click back on there so that we can click on the basic paragraph. We're going to type in Harlow, and then we're going to type in 15, just making sure everything is good. Just put auto for leading. And then color, we're going to select that blue color. I believe that's what you have it in. Yep. And select that blue color, and then click OK. So now that little plus sign disappears on that basic paragraph. You just have your subhead changed here. So you're going to go back and just select your second subhead. We're going to go to basic paragraph and we're just going to choose subhead. So you're going to have to do that manually on each of these now because it was stuck in the wrong in the wrong style guides. All right. Then we're going to go ahead and check your body copy. Body copy looks good. Let's go ahead and double click on your body copy paragraph style. I just want to see what your size is. So you have 11 by 13. I would go maybe definitely 14 leading. It will give a little bit more space in between your type. So just do that and it should be good. Just a nice little, you could probably even go more if you wanted to, maybe even like 15, just because it's usually a 20% difference. So when you do 10-point type, usually you do 14-point leading, for example. All right, so that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at both of these. Oh, it looks like now we have some bumps of your copy. I'm going to, oh, it looks like you have 2 columns. Let's eliminate that. So select that column, go to text frame options, choose 1. And then you could just pull in this box to your margin on the inside. And then you can adjust it based on, you know, the length of it. Now you have some inconsistent spacing in here. So I'm going to show you what you can do. You can keep a space after each paragraph, or what you can do is, and it looks like you have that maybe in your style. Just want to show you an option here. In indents and spacing, okay, you can keep this. I would probably make it a little less if you did. So 0.125 would probably be better. Just pulling that up a little bit. Or you can also give it indents. I'm going to just leave it as you have it because obviously you set that and you know how to set that. So that's good. You do have an extra space here. I would eliminate that. I just eliminate the T there. Sorry. That looks good. That bumps that up. Now let's take a look at what's going on with your images here, because you have a lot of spaces here. It looks like, let's go into your, okay, it looks like something weird is going on here. Do you have a text wrap? Oh, I see. Okay, so go to your text wrap and choose the second button instead. And you have it, it looks like you have wraparound object shape. We're just going to do wraparound bounding box. And then what you can do is unlink this link, and we're just going to affect the bottom part. So here it's the bottom. So we're just going to increase that just to bump that down just a little bit. So it'd be like 0.1065. You can also pull this up, but it looks like that's going to work here. Okay, so now you have your column not have such a big river of white space right here, and it just is easier to read. Another thing that I noticed is you have a big space in between your subhead and your body copy. Go ahead and delete that and hit return. You should have this, it doesn't have to be there. You can just have that space there. So delete, return, and that should be good. And it looks like the paragraph is messed up again. Okay, this needs to be set to body copy. There we go. Okay, you must have like a space. Let's check this out. So let's go to body copy. We must have another space issue here. Okay, space before, space after. Let's check out your subhead. Is there spacing issues here? Okay, this is probably where it's at. So let's go to body copy again. Let's go to your spacing. Let's take that out completely because I think that's screwing some things up here. There we go. And now you should be good. The only difference is you want the space to be only after the paragraphs, okay? So let's go ahead and fix that. All right, so we're going to double click body copy. Okay. So what we want to do is, I believe we want to do space after. Okay, hold on one second. Body copy. We had to set this again here. And it's not taking it. So let's go to body copy. There we go. Now you're going to have to go in when you change that to that setting. You're going to have to go in and highlight just your body copy and reset it because we changed that. But it hasn't been applied yet to some of your copy. And you'll notice how it gives enough space after your headlines, but it's not, actually, this is a little bit bigger of space after this. It's not like, you know, a ton of space. This one looks bigger for some reason. I don't know why. Really strange. Subhead. Huh. It says it's good. So, all right, we'll just keep it. Maybe it's just a visual thing with me. All right, so now what I would suggest is just kind of taking a look and seeing if all of your baselines align. If they don't, definitely fix that. You have some space here at the bottom. So what I would do is maybe pull this down just a little bit, bumping that down so you get your baselines on the same baseline down here. And what I would do is maybe fix your text wrap so that that middle column is hitting that same baseline. Perfect. So it would be 1, 2, 5 text wrap. And then that way you have a little bit more space here for the top part in the lead in. Now you also have to put a table of contents in here. So maybe, and we're gonna have to see if we have space for that. Maybe actually pulling this up a little bit. We might need room for that. So just pulling it down slightly would be a good idea, but maybe not this far down because we do have table of contents that we have to deal with here. I would pull the headline down a little bit so that it's a little bit more centered in that space. The top looks great. All right, so we do have, excuse me, we do have some space here for the table of contents that will need to be on the front cover. And what you might want to do is select your first body copy. This is for the second part of this, text frame options. We'll go to 2 columns and we'll pull this over into your second column. And then it's up to you if you want to redo your image here or if you want to keep it the same. Completely up to you. And then you can definitely take, and I showed this in the live lecture on Monday, this Monday, how to do your table content. So definitely go back if you haven't listened to that and take a listen on how I would enter that because that content isn't given to you. You're going to have to type that in, but this would be enough space for your table of contents. However, that's going to bump some stuff over here. So maybe in this case, you would want to make this a little bit smaller in size so that you're pulling your width of your text box over. Let's make this a little smaller. And you can see that now. Let's see if we have any. Oh, we do have a lot. Okay, we have a lot more type. So maybe in this case, we just make this a little bit smaller. So we're bumping up some copy. Okay, that's probably not going to work. A little bit smaller here. I'm just trying to make this fit the best that I can. You have some baseline issues here though. And I think we're at the bottom here, so that actually fits better there. And all of your widows are fixed. Oh, I do see you have a page number here, but I don't see it on your other pages. So definitely go back and listen to my my lecture on that and how I did that. Okay, I'm just going to pull this text box down so that the baselines kind of fit a little nicer here. And if you need to, you could probably take that image out. It's completely up to you if it's causing you issues. Pull this up so it aligns with my box here. There we go. I do have a widow happening here. So I'm going to bump down so shift return there, looks good. If you need to, you could make your body copy a little smaller. It could be 10 point by 14 point letting. I'm going to leave that up to you. I'm going to make this the same width as this box, just so it's a little bit more consistent. And then I'm going to just kind of center it in this blue square here, so it's the same amount of space on the top and bottom. Okay, and that looks good. So the only thing you need to work on other than the changes I told you is, doing the page numbers the way that I demoed them on Monday. Go ahead and listen to that recording. I'm sorry, from last week. And just making sure that your style sheets are set properly. You're making room for table contents, which was kind of a surprise this week. And that's kind of how it is with publication design. Sometimes you have everything set the way you want it. And then the client comes back to you and says, I want to put this in there. So you're shifting things around. So this is kind of like a real world problem experience that you guys are dealing with this being thrown at you. So you're going to have to adjust some things, and that'll just get you used to, dealing with the flow of copy and your style sheets. So that's a good experience to have. And then go forward. Hopefully you're going forward and adding your page 3 and 4 article and imagery in there. And like I said, go back and listen to that recording from this past Monday for how to do that, because I did a step-by-step demo. Don't forget, when you're done, to package, check all of your images that should be linked, and then zip it like you did. All right, hope this helps.